Good evening, children. Today we will discuss the third concept, nutrition in plants. Nutrition in plants. All you know, the gathering and digestion together called as nutrition. Gathering of food and digestion of food together is called nutrition. Today we are going to discuss about nutrition in plants, which means how plants are gathering their foods. So what type of process is involving in the gathering of food within the plant? Today we are going to discuss about that. Right. Generally in plants, for the preparation of food, for the maintenance of the growth, they need some type of salts called nitrogen and phosphorus, and potassium. These are salts or minerals helped in growth of the plant. So this is only for the growth. Here for a different type of activities within the plant, they needs energy. For the getting energy, they need nutrition first. Let us discuss how the nutrition takes place in the plant. In the plant, we can see one type of nutrition process, that is called autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition. On the earth, the only plants are capable to synthesize their own food due to presence of chlorophyll or chloroplast or chloroplast. Chlorophyll or chloroplast. Here in the plants, they have a greeny color structure that is called chlorophyll. Due to the presence of chlorophyll, they are capable to use sunlight and water and carbon dioxide, and they can synthesize food materials with the help of these four factors. This entire process is called as photosynthesis. What is that? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is nothing but the process in which chlorophyll or chloroplast using water, light and carbon dioxide and prepare food materials, that is called as photosynthesis. This is a process in the plants and it is responsible for the synthesis of food materials. These food materials are nothing but carbohydrates. We have some example for the carbohydrates: glucose, maltose, galactose, starch. So these are different names for the carbohydrates. Usually the plants can synthesize glucose in the photosynthesis process. Whenever the glucose is synthesized by the plant, immediately the glucose will be converted into starch. So we can find only starch in the leaves. The entire photosynthesis process only held in the leaves only. Why? Because leaves only having the green color pigment called chlorophyll. That is why photosynthesis only takes place in the leaves only, right? In the leaves we can find starch only, due to whenever glucose is synthesized by the leaves, immediately they convert the glucose into starch. That is why starch only appeared whenever we tested. Okay, right. So whenever if you want to test the presence of the starch, you have to use a solution called iodine solution. This is a solution which is useful for testing of presence of starch in the leaves. So, iodine is a solution which is useful for testing of presence of starch in the leaves. Is it clear? Right. We have to discuss another thing in the autotrophic nutrition. So, here plants are autotrophs, they can synthesize their own food, that is they are called as autotrophs. They are using 4 factors for the photosynthesis. They are, first one, water. Water is coming from soil to the plant, and CO2, carbon dioxide, which is available to the plant from the atmosphere. And third one is light, which is coming from the sun. The light which is coming from the sun will be utilized by the plant for the photosynthesis process. And fourth one is chlorophyll. This is green color pigment in the leaves. So, these are 4 factors for the photosynthesis process. Here I want to conclude one thing. Plants can utilize these 4 things and they can synthesize their own food like carbohydrates. That is why they are called as autotrophs. Auto means automatically, trophic means synthesizing. So, they are synthesizing their own food automatically by using these 4 factors due to the presence of chlorophyll, right. Here we are not belongs to autotrophs because we doesn't have chlorophyll within our body. That is why we are belongs to heterotrophs. You know, for the photosynthesis process, many type of scientists are worked to how to a process is happening. How does the process is happening in the plants, and what are the factors are involving that particular life process. So, in which way they want to know how it is happening, the photosynthesis process in the plants. Here I want to mention 4 or 5 names who are participated in the experimentation for the photosynthesis process. 4 or 5 names. First one, Priestley. Second one, Stephen Hales. Third one is von Helmont. Fourth one is von Helmont and Ingenhousz. So, number of scientists were worked about the photosynthesis process in the plants, but here I would like to mention only 4 things. Priestley, he said that animals are producing many type of contaminants into the air. So, here animals are polluting the air, whereas plants are purifying the air. So, which means animals are giving pollutants into the air, whereas plants are removing the pollutants from the air. This is the statement given by the Priestley. Stephen Hales, he is the second person in our lesson. Stephen Hales said that leaves are a parts for the transpiration. Transpiration is nothing but loss of water from the plant through evaporation. So, loss of water from the plant through the evaporation is called transpiration. So, within the plant there is some amount of water. This amount of water, if it is excessive, then this water should be come out from the plant. Here the water in the plant is coming through the help of the leaves. You know, in the leaves we can find some type of pores. These pores are called stomatas. Okay, through the stomatas the water is escaped from the leaves. This process is called transpiration. According to the Stephen Hales, transpiration only occurs in the leaves. Clear. Third one, von Helmont. As per von Helmont experimentation, he said one thing only: the entire growth of the plant is not only depend upon the minerals in the soil. Again, the entire growth of the plant is not only depend upon the minerals in the soil. You know, minerals are coming from the water in the ground level to the plant. Okay, whenever water is coming into the plant, it is carrying some amount of salts or minerals with along with this. Okay, but entire growth of the plant is not only depend upon that water and that minerals. This is the statement given by the Van Helmont. Fourth one, engine house. He said that for the photosynthesis process, plants need light, which means light is essential for the photosynthesis. This statement is given by engine house. If we keep the plant in the light, then only it can do the photosynthesis, can synthesize the carbohydrates. If we are not putting the plant in the light, then it could not synthesize the carbohydrate, because for the synthesis of the food material it needs light, then only photosynthesis occurs. Otherwise, photosynthesis will not occur and food may not be synthesized. Clear? So, there we discussed about 4 scientists, and I would like to say one thing. All plants are autotrophs. Some few plants are belongs to heterotrophs. You know what is heterotroph? Heterotroph is nothing but organisms, they cannot synthesize their own food. They are called as heterotrophs. The organisms which cannot synthesize their own food are called heterotrophs. Some plants are there, they cannot synthesize their own food. That is why they are called as heterotrophs. Very few plants are there, they cannot synthesize their own food. They are called as heterotrophs. Except them, remaining all plants are autotrophs. You know one thing, all animals are heterotrophs. They cannot synthesize their own food because they doesn't have chlorophyll in the body. But all plants are autotrophs. Very few plants are belongs to heterotrophs. Clear? Let us discuss about heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are heterotrophic nutrition. Till this moment, we have been discussed about autotrophic nutrition. Here I am starting heterotrophic nutrition. The organism which is follows heterotrophic nutrition is called heterotroph. The organism which is following heterotrophic nutrition is called heterotroph. Some type of plants are there, they are belongs to heterotrophs, right? We are going to discuss about types of heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Types of heterotrophic nutrition in plants. First one, symbiosis. Second one, parasitic nutrition. Third one, saprophytic nutrition. Fourth one, insectivorous nutrition. Insectivorous nutrition. These are 4 types of heterotrophic nutrition in plants: symbiosis, parasitic nutrition, and saprophytic nutrition, insectivorous nutrition. Let us discuss one by one. These 4 type of nutritions are happens in plants. Okay. First one, symbiosis, in which 2 different plants or one plant or one other animal can be combines or together and can live along. This type of relation is called as symbiosis. For example, for the symbiosis, algae and fungi. Some type of algae and fungi together lives and helps each other and get benefits each other. This type of relation is called symbiosis. In this symbiotic relation, both the organisms are getting benefits. If the algae is not capable to do photosynthesis, then it will get some amount of food material from the fungi. If the fungi is not capable to synthesize their own food, then it depends on algae. In this way, they together make the relation and getting benefit by their relationship. This is called as symbiosis. The algae and fungi together called lichen. What is that? Lichen. The group of algae and fungi called as lichens. Lichen, right? A algae fungi relation is called lichen. The group of algae and fungi is called lichen. Here I want to say one thing. In the relation of symbiosis, two different organisms live together and get benefits each other, right? Second one, parasitic nutrition. In this relation, two different organisms can be live, but one is getting benefit, second one is losing its properties. So in this way, if two organisms making relation, if one is getting benefit, if the second one is losing, that is called as parasitic nutrition. The best example for the parasitic nutrition is dodder, D-A-D-D-E-R, dodder. Another name for the dodder is cuscuta. Cuscuta is a plant. It cannot synthesize its food. Why? Because it is unable to do the photosynthesis due to it doesn't have chlorophyll. It is a thread-like structure. It doesn't have leaves. That is why it cannot do photosynthesis. Usually, it will reach the long plants and it will root the entire woody part of the plant, and it can penetrates finger-like projections called hostoria into the other plant. Hostoria is finger-like projections from the dodder. These finger-like projections will go into the strongest plants, xylem and phloem, and these plants root system or hostoria system will absorb the food material from the host plant. In this way, the dodder is getting benefit and the largest plant which is losing its properties. So this is called as a type of parasitic nutrition. Best example for the parasitic nutrition is cuscuta. And third one is saprophytic nutrition, in which organisms are depend on deadly and decayed plants and animals. You know, mushrooms generally grown on where the deadly and decayed plants or animals are available. Then we can find mushrooms. Here saprophytic nutrition is nothing but saprophytes are nothing but organisms. They are depend for the food on deadly and decayed organisms. For example, if an animal is died here, some type of fungi will come to this and it will eat the entire organic material and grown itself. So in this way, the organism fungi is depend upon the deadly organism. That is why this is called as a saprophytic nutrition. So saprophytes always depend upon deadly and decayed organisms only. Okay, best example for the saprophytic nutrition is fungi. Okay, to be very clear, mushrooms. And fourth one, insectivorous nutrition. Fourth one is insectivorous nutrition. Some type of plants can eat insects. Why? Because sometimes they cannot synthesize their own food. That is why they usually eat some insects. For a best example for the insectivorous nutrition are Drosera, Utricularia and Nepenthes. So these are plants, they usually eat on insects. They are called as insectivorous nutrition. They are showing insectivorous nutrition. They are called as insectivorous organisms. The process of nutrition is called insectivorous nutrition. They are called as insectivorous organisms. So best example for the insectivorous organisms are Drosera, Utricularia, Nepenthes. That's it. Thank you one and all.